Dear colleagues and dear students, it's a pleasure for me to meet you once more after 1 week of work through these media. And during this week, once again, the execution has taken the place with the rector, the general director, my vice rectors, the heads of the department and of the area of the administration. We did our best to take the right decision for the sake of our community, and we concentrated on the persons, and we let most of them work at home with the smart working, and protected all the people that are here in presence in our Politecnico to allow it to survive nonetheless. And the second point was to focus on our students, our, I would say, core business. We open windows for consultancy with them, those that are abroad that they need to come back to Italy, and those that are here in a way blocked by the contingency and cannot reach their families, but still nonetheless are following our courses through the online educational services that we put in place for the exams, for the graduations, and for the lessons and exercises currently taking place. From next week on, we are going to make a step forward to our normality, I would say, and we are going to have the Senate and the Board of Governors meeting on Monday and on Tuesday. And also we have been starting to look forward. What is going to happen after this crisis, and what is going to change in our strategic plan? What part of it is going to be slowed, and one part of it is going to be pushed hard. And among these parts, the education and the digital education is going to be for sure one of the important features that we are going to push hard. And I would like to bring you to the place where it is generated here at Politecnico. Come with me. Here we are at the laboratories where the professors come and deliver the online teaching. Only those professors that do not work at home, which is a small percentage. About 20,000 students are reached by our virtual classroom platform, our I would say proprietary, the one that is running on our servers, and about 5,000 are reached by other means that were selected by the professors. We are trying to render this more and more resilient. First of all, we duplicated the servers, physical servers on the cloud through a provider in order to have a double system that is used when the physical one is not working at our premises. We bypassed also the teacher's portal as an option in case the teacher's portal is not working, and we also rented an external provider just in case of emergency as a third option. This should make a very much reliable our online system. But we also created new items. The classrooms divided into students groups that are working on projects and that get consultancy from time to time by the teacher. And we have opened the informatics laboratory so that the students from next week on could work as if they were here on the softwares for the exercises in informatics and other matters. And we also virtualized some of the experimental laboratories. An example is the physics laboratory. And we also opened tutorials by students to students, assisting them. The expert students assist those that are in the learning process. And finally, we set up a cooperation with a company that allows us to deliver written exams. From next week, the professors will reschedule all the written exams that were halted a few weeks ago when the crisis was starting, but we are not stopping on this line. We just asked all our teachers to share the good practices and provide us with the new ideas to improve further and further our online education. I believe that this crisis will not finish fast and could possibly also affect the start of the next academic year. And for this reason, a strong educational online platform is going to help us to keep high the internationalization and still be able to host a lot of students coming from abroad. Let me now introduce you to what we are doing in the research at the Politecnico di Torino. Come with me. If theoretical research never stopped, the experimental one was halted for a while, but we reopened some of the experimental labs, starting from this one that is part of a task force that is providing tests for the certification of masks as well as for coats for the laboratory and for the doctors that are operating in the hospitals. And we are also cooperating with companies for the production of respiratory systems for the COVID-19 affected people that need this help. Little by little, thanks to the donation of our former students from China of thousands and thousands of masks, we are going to open as much as possible of the experimental research labs in the near future, starting from those that are working with big companies currently active in this sort of war economy we are facing. We are going to give our researchers new instruction on how to operate in the lab for their safety, but nonetheless, we are going to give our support to our industrial partners, even in this crisis. Let me now bring you to talk about innovation and knowledge sharing at the Politecnico di Torino. As for research, we are also active in innovation, and we are launching today a number of innovation projects with companies for the call Innova Italia that our government has launched a few days ago. And we are thinking also of restarting the activities of our incubator and our hub for companies like the Energy Center, for instance, in order to boost our partnership with companies and new startups, but with rigorous prescription as well as for the distance between people and the presence of masks and gloves to protect each other. Let's go now to our founder. And finally, in front of our founder, Quintino Sella, we were founded by him in 1859. We talk about culture and knowledge sharing, another important activity of Politecnico di Torino. We launched some actions in this field. Casa Polito, where we are hosting some messages from our students or our professors or some of the people in the society that talk about this crisis. We also have launched Polito da Te, where we on our web show our collections, our concerts, and also show some books and make them available to people. And we also opened a sort of presentation of books by the authors or by people that are fond of these books to present them and recommend them to people. Nonetheless, we are now designing our future events where for the time when we could once more gather together to see something together. And in particular, we have the Researchers' Night, La Notte dei Ricercatori, where we are a partner of the University of Torino, that is going to be held by the end of September, and two conventions, one with the Fondazione Agnelli Italian Tech Week, that could be located in the middle of November, just before the first edition of the Biennale Tecnologia, that is the new version of our Festival della Tecnologia, with tremendous success in the past year, where we are going to think and discuss about the strong relationship between technology and society. With this in mind, I warmly thank you for your attention, and take care of yourself, and see you soon through these media. Goodbye.